The so-called BRICS group, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, has invited 6 countries to join their economic bloc. Egypt is among them, and the president says the country is looking forward to joining BRICS to strengthen economic cooperation as well as, quote, raise the voice of the global south. Egypt, along with Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Iran, Ethiopia and Argentina, were invited to join the BRICS group as it wrapped up a summit in Johannesburg on Thursday.
The decision made by BRICS members to expand this group is a commendable move that paves the way for a global expansion within the framework of justice.
The strategic relationship between the kingdom and the countries of the BRICS group is reinforced by frameworks of common principles, the most prominent of which is the firm belief in the principle of respecting the sovereignty and independence of states, not interfering in their affairs.
More now from CNN's David McKenzie reporting in from Johannesburg.
Well, this is certainly a significant moment and possibly a turning point. This expansion of BRICS was surprising to some. It was felt they could potentially go through a methodical process of inviting countries one by one, but in the end it was 6 countries added, something for every one of the founding BRICS members, I think. And in particular, the addition of the UAE and Saudi Arabia is important to potentially bring their financial might to the new development bank, the so-called BRICS Bank, to counteract the World Bank and IMF. And that's been a theme throughout this BRICS summit, counteracting Western influence. And in particular, this is a win for Chinese President Xi Jinping.
This expansion is historic. It shows the BRICS' determination to unite and cooperate with developing countries, which meets the international community's expectation.
Now, to underline the importance of the BRICS meeting and its outcome, the Secretary General of the UN was in attendance. He had this to say about the world financial system.
For multilateral institutions to remain truly universal, they must reform to reflect today's power and economic realities and not the power and economic realities of the post-Second World War. In the absence of such reform, fragmentation is inevitable.
Now, this loose collection of countries will have to work together to have any kind of political clout. And certainly economically, the talk of de-dollarization, in particular by President Putin of Russia, is in the short term probably very optimistic. But there is a sense that they could, if they band together, have an impact on the political stage. One small wrinkle potentially to mention, the Saudi Arabian foreign minister spoke to regional press saying they're going to look into this invite and come up with a decision at appropriate time. According to South Africa's president, all of these members will join in January 2024. David McKenzie, CNN, Johannesburg.
During a meeting on the sidelines of the BRICS summit on Thursday, the leaders of India and China agreed to try and escalate their efforts to remove tensions over their disputed shared border. China's foreign ministry says Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping had a candid and in-depth exchange on the current China-India relations. The shared border has been a source of tension for years, both countries accusing the other of overstepping the line of actual control or trying to expand their own territory.